big transition for a customer to go from an ICE vehicle to a fully electric vehicle.
It is.
You have to worry about where you're going to fuel the vehicle, where you're going to charge it.
Yeah.
Does the charger work? We've seen the stories about the charging network isn't all that reliable.
Right.
But there's a gas station on every corner.
That's right.
And it's got a dozen pumps, and at least one of them is going to work.
Yeah.
So that anxiety about making the switch and thinking about the reliability is something that we as a society have to overcome if we're ultimately going to get to a place where
it's honestly, we're coming from a society right now where most people can't even keep their phone charged. People are always looking for a charger. Do you have a charger for an iPhone? Do you have a charger for an Android? To think that people are going to switch over so quickly to a car that has to be charged is honestly wishful thinking. It's not going to be overnight transition, if we ever even transition into this. And I was actually just talking to my wife about this. We were running late to go somewhere, and the car didn't have any gas. So I just stopped at a gas pump. 5 minutes, about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Extra time added to the trip, even though we're late. So I told her, and I said, it's really interesting that if we would have had an EV right now, I mean, think we would have just had to have canceled the appointment. We wouldn't have been. There's no way we would have ever even made it, because, we'd have to sit there, find a charging station if we don't have one at the house, and then we're gonna sit there for a good 30, 40 minutes to charge up our EV. So the infrastructure is just not there. They're talking about 3035, no more ICE, which is internal combustion engines, produced anymore, and it's going to be just electric vehicles after that. I find that hard to believe. I think they're going to have to push that back multiple times if we ever get to that point, even because the reality is that the demand for EVs is just not there. The people who are looking for EVs, these are people with disposable wealth. It's not even people who are just everyday people, just trying to get through their daily lives. This is people who have disposable wealth. They have extra income, and they can go ahead and afford it, because that's the person who's buying an EV right now. Somebody who has not somebody just getting by, just needs to get from point A to point B, that's looking for a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 car. No, this is people who have money that are buying EVs. The people who are in the that are out there, they're not looking for EVs. And I've made this point, and I went to an EV event, and I asked multiple vendors, and none of them could give me an answer for this, that make a case for me for a EV, because I'm in the used car market. We sell primarily cars that are 8K and under. So very economic vehicles that we sell. This is just for the person, a college student, somebody just getting back on their feet, first time buyers. So this is the people that we service. And, I'm able to offer them a car, within, $5,000 to $8,000, which, passes our state inspection, is serviced, up to date on service, gone through the shop and ready to go. Despite it being maybe 10, 15 years old, despite it maybe having over 100,000 miles, I can comfortably give this car to a person who knows that they're spending their last buck on this car. So the car has to be, reliable. Of course, it's going to need regular maintenance, but I'm able to offer that now. I told them to make me a case for a EV vehicle that's going to be 10, 15 years old, maybe have 100, 150, 200,000 miles on it, that I can offer to a customer for $5,000 to $8,000, which is not going to have any, major problems, at the time of, or even 6 months down the line. Now these EV drive units and just the batteries in general, if they go bad, the car is totaled. It's not that hey, you have you just need a little bit of maintenance. No, the battery packs themselves on Teslas and other vehicles some of them are 10,000 plus, just for the battery pack. So we have a lot to figure out before we get to a point where EVs are the everyday vehicle for the average Joe. Right now, other people can buy them, but even them, a lot of them are buying them. They're keeping them for a little while, and then guess what? They're getting traded in. There's so many EVs and Teslas and other ones that are on the market that people buy them and then they just realize that, hey, listen, I hate the fact that I have to charge my vehicle, and I much rather just go and put a little bit of gas into the car, and it's just more convenient for me, and it's just more easier. I don't have to have the anxiety of if I'm going to run out of range if I'm in the country, because the infrastructure is not there yet. Tesla is doing a great job, and they're at the forefront of it. If there's a name that survives in the EV game, I think it's Tesla. But at the same time, to say that Main Street and the average Joe is ready for an EV, I don't think that we're even close to that right now.